राम हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय श्री कृष्ण प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण dear devotees. So today is Tuesday. It is 3rd of September. And it is Bhadra Masa or Hrishikesha Masa and Shukla Paksham. And Pratipat or Bhadrini, the first day of the Paksha, Shukla Paksham. So there are no extra events mentioned in the calendar. So we shall quickly move into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Lord Brahma speaking to Narada Muni, speaking about different incarnations in the last sessions. So he was speaking about the Vamana Avatara. So Jhayan Gunaihi Avadagopi Aditehe Sudanam Lokan Vichakrama Iman Yata Yed Ata Adiyajnaha Shmam Vamanena Jagurhe Tripatachalena Yacham Rute Paticharan Prabhubihi Nachalyaham. So in the form of Vamana, so he has uh, taken the 3 footsteps of land as a charity and he occupied the entire planetary systems. And then Nardho Balehi Ayam Urukrama Pada Saucham Apaha Sika Dhrutavato Vibudadipatyam Yovai Pratisutam Dute Nachikeshad Anyad Atmanamanga Manasa Hare Abhimene. So Bali Chakravarti, after he has given his promise to Vamana Deva, and then Bali Chakravarti understood that he is none other than Vishnu, and then he considered everything, all his opulences, they have no value without giving them to the Vishnu. And then, even including his body, he has offered himself to Vamana Deva. So, as an offering for the 3rd step to keep on top of his head. So, that is the incarnation of Vamana Deva. And then today, Lord Brahma is speaking to one more incarnation about the Hamsa Avatara. So here in this verse specifically, there is no Hamsa in the verse, but Prabhupada explained in the translation that it is the Hamsa Avatara. So in in the Hamsa Avatara, Lord was very pleased with the Narada Muni. Narada Muni, he has worshipped and pleased the Lord, and after pleasing with the pleasure, he has explained the Bhagavatam to Narada Muni. And that knowledge can be understood easily by only few devotees of the Lord. So likewise, Brahma is saying to Narada Muni. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, chapter 7, verse number 19. So this Hamsa Avatara, it is actually the Lord has appeared as a swan to Brahma and 4 Kumaras first when they were having some kind of questions and they could not find the answers. So at that time, the Lord appeared to Brahma and 4 Kumaras. That comes as part of the 11th canto when Buddha was speaking to, when Buddha was questioning to Krishna, Krishna spoke about the Hamsa Avatara. So today, Brahma is saying to Narada Muni, तुभ्यं च नारद वृषं भगवान् विवृद्ध भावेन साधु परितुष्टमुवाच योगम् ज्ञानं च भागवतम् आत्म सतत्त्वदीपम् यद्वासुदेवशरण विदुरञ्जसैव तुभ्यं च नारदभृशं भगवान् विवृद्ध तुभ्यं च so unto you cha also O Narada for you unto you also O Narada tubhyam cha Narada Brusham Bhagavan Vivruddha Bhavena Brusham and very nicely Bhagavan the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vivruddha Bhavena Vivruddha Bhavena so with so much of developed transcendental love Vivruddha Bhavena Sadhu Paritushta and your uh, sadhu is your goodness and paritushta Lord is being satisfied by your goodness. Uvacha yogam and he spoke the yogam. Uvacha what he that he, yoga is the devotional service. Yogam vivruddha bhaven sadhu paritushta uvacha yogam. Jnanam cha bhagavatam. Jnanam cha what he has spoken. Jnanam cha this is the knowledge also and Bhagavatam, the science of God and his devotional service. That is Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam, Atma Satattva Deepam. Satattva Deepam. Atma is the self. Satattva with all the details. Tattva is scientifically, Satattva is with all the details, inclusive of examples and everything. Satattva Deepam. Deepam just like the light in the darkness. Jnanam cha Bhagavatam Atma Satattva Deepam. And what and who can understand? Yad Vasudeva Sarana. Yad Vasudeva Sarana. Yet that which Vasudeva Sarana. Those who are soul surrendered unto Lord Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sarana. Viduhu Anjasaiva. They only know that knowledge and Bhagavatam and pastimes of the Lord and devotional service of the Lord. Viduhu Anjasaiva. Anjasa is the perfectly well. They know very well, devotees of the Lord, not by anyone else. Yad Vasudeva Sarana Viduranjasaiva, as it is. Likewise, Brahma is saying to Narada Muni. So the Lord being pleased with the service of the Narada Muni, and he has spoke that knowledge. What is that? Bhagavatam, and which contains Atma Satatva Deepam, the transcendental knowledge with all the examples and the details, that which is the illuminating knowledge um, satat light in the darkness, like the light in the darkness. Satatva Deepam. And that can be understood by only the devotees of the Lord very clearly. So likewise Brahma is saying. Tubhyam cha narada brusham bhagavan vivrudha bhavena sadhu paritushta bhuvacha yogam jnanam cha bhagavatam atma satatva deepam yad vasudeva sarana viduranja saiva. The translation for this verse. O Narada, you were taught about the science of God and his transcendental loving service by the personality of Godhead in his incarnation of Hamsavatara. He was very much pleased with you due to your intense proportion of devotional service. He also explained unto you lucidly the full science of devotional service, which is especially understandable by persons who are souls surrendered unto Lord Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead. And purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Dada Sevaka Mataji, would you like to read the purport?
Yes, Prabhu. Just 1 moment. Okay. Yep. The devotee and devotional service are two correlative terms. Unless one is inclined to be a devotee of the Lord, he cannot enter into the intricacies of devotional service. Lord Shri Krishna wanted to explain the Bhagavad Gita, which is the science of devotional service, onto Sri Arjuna, because Arjuna was not only his friend, but a great devotee as well. The whole process is that all living entities, being constituently parts and parcels of the supreme living being, the absolute personality of Godhead have proportionately minute independence of action also. So the preliminary qualification for entering into the devotional service of the Lord is that one becomes a willing cooperator, and as such, one should voluntarily cooperate with persons who are already engaged in the transcendental devotional service of the Lord. By cooperating with such persons, the prospective candidate will gradually learn the techniques of devotional service, and with the progress of such learning, one becomes proportionately free from the contamination of material association. Such a purification process will establish the prospective candidate in firm faith and gradually elevate him to the stage of transcendental taste for such devotional service. Thus, he acquires a genuine attachment for the devotional service of the Lord, and his conviction carries him on to the point of ecstasy just prior to the stage of transcendental love. Such knowledge of devotional service is divided into two sections, namely preliminary knowledge of the nature of the devotional service and the secondary knowledge of its execution. Bhagavatam is in relation with the personality of Godhead, his beauty, fame, opulence, dignity, attraction, and transcendental qualities which attract one towards him for engages of love and affection. There is a natural affinity of the living entity for the loving service of the Lord. This affinity becomes artificially covered by the influence of material association, and the Srimad Bhagavatam helps one very genuinely remove the artificial covering. Therefore, in it is particularly mentioned herein that Srimad Bhagavatam acts like the lamp of transcendental knowledge. These two sections of transcendental knowledge in devotional service becomes manifest in a person who is a soul surrendered onto Vasudev. As it is said in the Bhagavad Gita 7.19, such a great soul fully surrendered onto the lotus feet of Vasudev is very, very rare.
Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here in this, Prabhupada is mentioning in this purport about the Krishna speaks this knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, to his pure devotees who are in the favorably inclined to Krishna's devotional service. Anyabhilashita sunyam jnana karmadi anavrutam anukulyena Krishnanuselanam bhaktiruttama, who are engaging and favorably inclined to Krishna, anukulyena Krishnanuselanam bhaktiruttama. That is called bhakti, the best bhakti. And who can do it? Only the devotees can do it. So the whole process is that all the living entities being consciously parts and parcels of the Supreme Being. So we are also having that knowledge, but due to the covering of the material things, material body, and these are the gross and subtle bodies, this knowledge is covered. It needs to be awakened by the spiritual master or Krishna. So spiritual master is the representative of Krishna, the supreme authority. And then further, Prabhupada is explaining the preliminary qualification for entering into the devotional service of the Lord is that one become willing cooperator. This is Anukulyena. This is Anukulyena Krishnanuselanam. As such, one should voluntarily cooperate with other persons as well. So all this is explaining about the favorable activities in the devotional service. One should voluntarily cooperate with other persons who are engaged in the transcendental devotional service of the Lord. By cooperation with such persons, the prospective candidate will gradually learn the techniques of devotional service. This is rendering Susrusha Sraddhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchihi Syan Matseva Vipra Syan Mahatsevaya Vipraha Punyatirtha Nishevana. One will get the attachment to that devotional service when we render service unto pure devotees, Mahat Seva. Then prospective candidate will gradually learn that techniques. And progress of such learning one becomes proportionately free from contaminate, proportionately, not immediately, completely, but it is proportionately. Uh, this is Krishna also mentions that one in the Ye tamam prapadyante tam sadaiva bhajamyaham mama vatmanu vattante manusyaha padda sarvasyaha. So Ye yatamam prapadyante, how much of the whatever the degree one is surrendering unto the Lord, that much proportionate the Lord will be, he will be free and Lord will be reciprocating to him. So that's why devotees, because they wanted to be completely free from the material contaminations, that's why they come to devotional service. Madharmana gunairetaihi parishamshuddha ashayah, with complete pure desires. Parishamshuddha asayah. Purushasya anjasabhyeti shrutamatra gunam himam. Knowing that Krishna is the only personality of Godhead can completely free, and knowing about his qualities, they are all attracted to Krishna. Shrutamatra gunam himam, just by hearing the qualities of Krishna. Such a purificatory process will establish the prospective candidate in firm faith and gradually elevates him unto the stage of transcendental taste for such a devotional service. Devotional service is so pleasing. So once he comes to that stage, he will never ever leave. धौतात्मा पुरुषः कृष्णपादमूलं न मुञ्चति मुक्तसर्वपरिक्लेशः पान्तः स्वशरणं यथा. A devotee who comes to the lotus feet of Krishna, he will never ever leave. So thus, he acquires genuine attachment for the devotional service of the Lord. His conviction carries him on to point of ecstasy, just prior to the stage of transcendental love. And then further Prabhupada is explaining about the devotional service may be divided into two sections. One is preliminary knowledge of the nature of devotional service and secondary knowledge of its execution. So one is the preliminary knowledge and another one is by understanding the nature of devotional service and secondary knowledge of its execution. This is the first knowing the relationship and then walking in the steps, executing the devotional service. Abhideya, Sambandha Abhideya, Prayojana, and ultimately attaining the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so and here Prabhupada explaining about the Lord's all his opulences. That's why there is a natural affinity of the living entity for loving service of the Lord. This affinity becomes artificially covered. So initially we may be understanding, we may think that we are doing artificially, but actually when we keep doing it and giving our all the time and effort, money and everything, but in due course and at the same time hearing the Krishna Katha, Srimad Bhagavatam, this artificial become the genuine in due course of time. So it will one very genuinely remove the artificial covering. Therefore, it is particularly mentioned here in that Srimad Bhagavatam acts like the lamp of transcendental knowledge. That is the Sat Tattva Deepam, Atma Satattva Deepam. Okay, so this is the preliminary knowledge and the secondary knowledge to execute and understand the nature of the devotional service. And so attaining this kind of knowledge is very, very rare. Only devotees can understand. Such kind of devotees are very rare who are surrendering. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudarlabaha. Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudarlabaha. Such kind of people are very, very rare. So as all these rare people are, most of them in the Krishna consciousness. Majority portion of the people. Okay, so that is the Prabhupada is explaining, and the Brahma is saying to Narada Muni, Tubhyam cha Narada Vrisham Bhagavan Vivruddha Bhavena Sadhu Paritushta Bhuvacha Yogam Jnanam cha Bhagavatam Atma Satattva Deepam Yad Vasudeva Sarana Viduranja Saiva. So just to the extension of this verse, in the Hamsa Avatara, actually the four Kumaras, they have approached Brahma with some questions, and Brahma also got bewildered. At the time, the Lord has appeared in the form of the Hamsa. So here, That is the Hamsa avatar, mainly we would see in the Bhagavatam. So here Prabhupada explained here, you were taught about science of, in this one, he also explained unto you. So the Lord also explained unto you. That means the Lord has already explained to Brahma and four Kumaras. After that, this statement we also understand that he also explained. That means it is the secondary what I understand from this particular translation. Okay, so but in the 11th canto, in the Buddha, when Uddhava inquired from Krishna, Krishna spoke about the Hamsa avatar, that how the Kumaras, when in the form of Hamsa, when the Lord appeared in front of Brahma and four Kumaras, they immediately asked, "Who are you?" Then the Lord spoke. So body is made up of the five elements: earth, water, fire, and um, the air and space. So you're asking me this body, who am I? So do I need to say, or instead of you should be asking, who are you five, something like that? But so likewise the conversation takes place and then further the Lord explains everything. There is no difference between in the whole the spiritual or cosmic manifestation. There is not much difference between the spiritual world and the material world. Likewise, further, it is very beautiful conversations we would see in that one. But yeah, that is from the Hamsa Avatara. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly move into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Govinda. Govindadasi, April 7th, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request if Mampi Mataji is available or Prabhavati Mataji is available?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Comfortable Mataji to read?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Govinda. Is it Govinda Prabhuji?
Govindadasi, actually letter, yes, Govindadasi.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm reading from it. My dear daughter, sorry. Mm, I'm having some trouble, Prabhuji, sorry. My dear Govinda Dasi, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 2nd of April 1970, and I am very much pleased for the nice sentiment you have expressed therein. But you should always remember that whatever we are doing, it is in the parampara system, beginning from Lord Krishna down to us. Therefore, our loving spirit should be more upon the message than the physical representation. When we love the message and serve him, automatically our devotional love for the physic is done. I'm so glad to learn. Sorry, Prabhuji, there is some problem with my. I am so very glad to learn that Srimati Tulsi Devi has favored you so much. If you can actually grow this Tulsi plant, and I am sure you will do it, then you must know it for certain that your devotion for Krishna is testified. I was very much anxious to introduce this worship of Tulsi plant among our society members, but it has not become successful till now. Therefore, when I hear that you have got this opportunity, my pleasure does not have any bounds. Please take care of the Tulsi plants in the following way. This is the best season for growing Tulsi plants. From 15th April to 15th June is the best season for growing this plant. Now I understand that the seedlings are coming out, so the whole spot, if possible, may be covered by some net, because The seedling stage creepers, being very delicate, are sometimes eaten up by the sparrows. So we have to give a little protection from attack of the sparrows. All the devotees should pour water at least once in the morning before taking prasadam. The watering should not be very much large in quantity. So 1 second, Prabhu. But it should be poured just to keep the ground soft and moist. Sunlight also should be allowed. When the creepers are grown at least 7 inches high, then you can take them out from the planting soil and transplant them in a different place. Then go on watering and they will grow like anything. I think this plant cannot grow in cold countries, but if the plants are dispatched from your place and if the devotees, gosh, sorry Prabhuji, I don't know. So sorry. I think this plant cannot grow in cold countries, but if the plants are dispatched from your place and if the devotees take care of the plant with a little care in a flower pot, then it may grow. Tulsi leaf is very, very dear to Vishnu. All Vishnu Tattva deities require profusely Tulsi leaves. Lord Vishnu likes garlands of Tulsi leaves. Okay. I have to read from my mobile now, Prabhuji. Sorry, 1 second. All Vishnu Tattva deities require profusely Tulsi leaves. Lord Vishnu likes garland of Tulsi leaves. Tulsi leaves mixed with the sandalwood pulp and placed on the lotus feet of the Lord is the topmost worship. But we must be very careful that Tulsi leaves cannot be placed on the feet of anyone else except Lord Vishnu and his different forms. Tulsi leaves cannot be placed even on the lotus feet of Radharani or on the lotus feet of the spiritual master. It is eternally reserved for being placed on the lotus feet of Krishna. We can place, however, Tulsi leaves in the hands of Radharani for being placed on the lotus feet of Krishna, as you have seen on the Govinda album. I am giving you here with the 3 mantras of Tulsi Devi as follows. Vrindaye Tulsi Devi Priyaye Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Pati Devi Satyavati Namo Namaha. This is offering obeisances, bowing down a Panchanga Pranam. And when collecting leaves from the plants, the following mantra should be chanted. Tulasyamrita Janamasi Sada Tvam Keshava Priya Keshavati Sinomi Tvam Bharada Bhava Shubhine. Then the mantra is circumambulating the Tulasi tree. Yani kani cha papani brahmatyadikani cha tani tani pranashanti pradakshine pade pade. So there are 3 mantras, one for bowing down, one for circumambulating, and one for collecting the leaves. The collecting of leaves should be done once in the morning for worshipping and for putting on the plates of foodstuff to be offered. On each pole or plant, there should be at least 1 leaf. So you follow the practice and practice these Tulsi affairs, and you try to distribute your experience to all the other centers. That will be a new chapter in the history of Krishna consciousness movement. Regarding your tape recorders, sorry Prabhuji. Regarding your tape recorder, which was lying with me, you will get it very soon back. It is now being carried by Chitralekha, wife of Upendra, who is going to Australia via Hawaii, and she will deliver the machine to you. I'm very glad you have repaired your dictaphone and you are anxious to work on it. For the time being, I can send you tapes of my lectures, which you can transcribe either directly or through the dictaphone, as it is convenient. Both yourself and Gaurasundara or any other educated boy or girl can edit the transcription for being printed. For the present, I hope you will be glad to do this work because you are always anxious to seeing me speaking something. I am sending the tape by separate mail, so immediately being work. If you find this work of transcription, work of transcribing for recorded tapes interestingly, you will have ample opportunities to work on this. There are many tapes like this in New York, Boston, and maybe in other places also. Regarding installation of the deities for which you are preparing, I wish to go there as soon as there are many tulsi leaf grows. You are trying to grow mangoes very soon, but it will be better if you can grow so soon the tulsi leaves. This is more important than growing mangoes. So you give your best attention for this purpose, and as soon as you inform me that there is a irregular bush of tulsi plants, and I shall immediately start for Hawaii and install your deities. I think this will satisfy you. In the meantime, I am also inviting you, both husband and wife, to see how this temple has become very nice. Better looking, better facilities than all other centers. I am sending you here with one copy of the picture. Please offer my blessings to Gaurasundara and all boys and girls there, and I hope this will find you all in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Three times round the plant, both morning and evening. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, there are lots of points Srila Prabhupada is giving here. First of all, Srila Prabhupada is saying, reminding Mataji and I think all of us that we should remember that whatever we do, it should be in the parampara system. And he's explaining about how the parampara system begins from Lord Krishna down to all of us. We have to follow the parampara system. And so he says, whatever we do, I think it's more important than the physical representation. He's talking about the spirit and not the physical representation. And we must always serve Krishna with so much of devotion and love. And Srila Prabhupada is explaining the importance of growing tulsi plants, worshipping tulsi plants, and and also he's giving example. The Mataji was supposed to plant mango trees, and here Srila Prabhupada is saying mango trees are important, but this is very important to grow the tulsi plants because they are so important and they're very love to Krishna. Krishna loves them so much. So, and also offering tulsi leaves, how we have to offer it should be only offered to Lord Krishna, even though Lord Krishna is so much in love with Radharani, and we cannot even offer tulsi plants on her feet. We can offer before offering to Krishna in the hand of Radharani, but not to any other deities. And he is also giving instruction how to grow tulsi leaves, tulsi plants, how we have to take care of them, and importance of sunlight for tulsi plants. I think it's a very good information for all of us. I think I didn't knew that we should not offer even to Radharani's feet. This is a takeaway point for me too. And sorry, bro. 1 second. My iPad is not so good today. This blocking, something is coming up on and off. And he's talking about the album. I didn't understand very well about that. And also, Srila Prabhupada is giving instructions how to pray Tulsi Maharani in the morning and 3 times at least, and in the evening also. And the importance of pouring water to Tulsi plant before we have the prasadam. So, and we have to circumambulate. He's giving the mantras when we have to pluck the tulsi leaves as well. I didn't know that we cannot plant in the, once we pluck in the morning, then we cannot pluck later on. In the evening, I knew in the afternoon, but I didn't know in the morning. This is another takeaway point for me. Whatever we have to offer, even for the prasadam, it has to be plucked in the morning only altogether. That's what my another takeaway point here. And this mantra, I didn't know how to, when we pluck the tulsi leaves, we have to say this mantra. I didn't know this exactly. This is another lot of takeaway points, Prabhuji, in this one. And Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada is talking about the temple also. Mataji has to come and visit if possible. I think that's what, Prabhuji, I got. This is what I can explain. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Anybody can add. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Sorry for my slow reading. My iPad was not good today. Sorry. Thank you. Forgive me for this.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. You have beautifully read and explained. Thank you so much. Can I request another devotees to add any points to this letter? Highlight any points here. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And here in this one, so the collecting the leaves should be done once in the morning for worshipping and for putting on the plates of foodstuffs to be offered. So Prabhupada mentions once should be done once in the morning. I don't know if it is only once or just once in the morning. Okay. And then whatever we offer, we have to offer with tulsi leaves. That is one point. And Prabhupada is giving for the devotees' work, he is giving so many tips for transcribing from the recorded tapes. That is other work. And then growing tulsi is most important than growing mangoes. That is another point, again stressing the tulsi. Okay, so that is from this Prabhupada's letter. And the protecting tulsi is very, very important. That is my take.
So, Prabhuji, I have a question. That means tulsi plants can be collected only in the early morning or any time before 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock? This. I have heard not in the afternoon, but I'm not sure. I wasn't sure about.
So here Prabhupada mentioning, so there are 3 mantras, one for bowing down, one for circumambulating, and one for collecting the leaves. So the collecting of leaves should be done once in the morning for worshipping and for putting on the plates of foodstuff to be offered. So this is the mantra to collect. So Tulasyam Janmasi Sadatum Keshava Keshavardhichinomi. Keshavardhi, only for Keshava, Ardhichinomi from Bharat Bhava Shobhini. Okay. It is only once, Mataji. I understand from here.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, so that is any other points, dear devotee? Gauringa Mataji, you want to add anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
You want to add anything about Tulsi Devi?
No, Prabhuji. I don't have any comment, Prabhuji. Thank you for asking, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Again, this letter contains so many points. I will share this link again in the WhatsApp group. Devotees can check this one whenever you get a chance.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I was going to ask you. Thank you so much.
Okay, if there are no, and from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got preaching session with Radha Sevika Mataji at 8 p.m. Okay, that is from the announcements point of view and upcoming events. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay, if there are no further updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटि वैष्णवेभ्यो
Jai
Hare Krishna conscious day, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.